We had some pretty exciting grades over the last 12, 18 months. We got gold over the IP anomaly is about 700 meters long. The structure next to it, which is called Monza, is a similar distance. And these holes, we've got a whole new geological model because of the IP. We got 11 meters at 6 and 43.5 grams silver from about 50 meters true depth. We've got, just have a quick read, 22 meters at 2.7, 13 meters at 8, 3 meters at 6, and the list just keeps going on.
Welcome back to Proactive Investors, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Kerry Stevenson. Today I've asked Justin Virgin, Executive Director of Terrain Minerals. ASX code is TMX. Now they've got a couple of projects, but the one I want to specifically focus on today is their Smoke Bush project, which is gold and silver over in WA. Now within that area, they've got the Lightning project. Over 100 drill holes put into it. Results are starting to come back. Grades are looking good. But I won't take it all away from Justin. Let's get some news from him. Justin, good to see you.
Yeah, thanks, Kerry. Good to see you again, and thanks for having us today. But yeah, no, you're 100% right. We've got a lot of holes into this. We've got some IP that's working and it's really turned this project around because we're now drilling in the right place. We had some pretty exciting grades over the last 12, 18 months. We got gold over the IP anomaly is about 700 meters long. The structure next to it, which is called Monza, is a similar distance. And these holes, we've got a whole new geological model because of the IP. We got 11 meters at 6 and 43.5 grams silver from about 50 meters true depth. We've got, just have a quick read, 22 meters at 2.7, 13 meters at 8, 3 meters at 6, and the list just keeps going on. There's some really good grades. We believe we're in a basalt. We found some dolerites, which is exactly what you want here in WA. So we're drilling 21 holes at the moment. Should be finished in the next couple of days, about 4,500 meters. We've just rolled out a diamond rig. So we're doing 4 diamond holes. So it's RC collars with diamond. The rig has left this morning and will be there. So they'll give us some densities for our JORC calculation, which we are looking at putting out or targeting mid-year. So for investors, I guess, we've got a $12 to $15 million market cap. If we can come out with a JORC, and that's generally the goalpost most people want. It'll be a starter JORC for us. We're going to keep on drilling all year, give some real substance. If we can come out with something pretty exciting to start with, just as a starting block, I would hope that our market cap would change upwards. And that's, I guess, for investors, it could be quite exciting to get into these stories, just before the broader market starts seeing that it's 100% real.
Can you just quickly, because I said WA, can you just give us, have you got easy access, infrastructure around? I mean, I know it's exploration at the moment. I'm just curious as to exactly where it is.
So we're about 4.5-hour drive north of Perth. So inland from Geraldton. So we're south of a project called Golden Grove, 29 metals, about 50 Ks. So we're in one of those sort of semi-forgotten gold belts that have been overlooked. There is a lot of mills in the area. Warradar's to our north. They've just been taken over by Capricorn. We've got the Kirkalocka mill, which is a toll mill, about 120 kilometres away. They're open for business. So there's a potential for early cash flow if we chose to go that route. The goal for us would be to try and drill it out and make it as big as possible and become a standalone producer, which is our goal. But, one thing at a time. We'll, address these issues as we go along. But we've also, the IP, as I mentioned, at Lightning has turned this project around. And down at Wildflower, which is about 4 or 5 Ks in the same package, we've got 3 IP anomalies from a program we've recently done, but just jumped out. They're about 800 meters long, if not longer. There's gold in small anomalies above them. So when the RC rig finishes at Lightning in the next couple of days, it'll be going straight down to test those 3 structures, 13 holes for about just under 2,500 meters RC. So it's pretty exciting to have potentially a whole new little project here of new gold discoveries.
Talk to me. When's this sort of when are these results going to start hitting the market? I kind of want to understand some milestones, if you like, as we're heading into 26?
So I'd like to have some from Lightning out by late February. See how we go. Now all the pre-Christmas results have been put in. We normally put them all out together, so we have to wait for this batch this side of Christmas to be processed. But if they will get to Perth the next week, and it takes 4 weeks to process, we get into the end of February, early March. And then obviously the wildflower results will probably be April, I'd imagine, at this stage. Diamond drilling, them, let's say, typically, I'll be careful what I say, but they'll also be tested, but they'll be a bit later because they need to be cut and the visuals looked over. But they're for density readings for the JORC calculation, and we need to get these in.
Yeah, and I think you're moving towards a maiden JORC mineral resource estimate, middle of the year?
Mid-year is our target. So these results obviously be important for it, but this thing's looking real. I think we potentially have a standalone project here.
Why? I don't think anyone's done the work before on this area, such as you are doing at the moment. I think they've taken a little stab, but nobody's actually done the amount of work that you've done. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, that's correct. So there's some early soils and some on-off drilling over the last 30, 40 years here. And then obviously these lands get locked up in companies and nothing happens because it's not on their radar. So we were able to do a deal. I followed up, don't quote me, but roughly there was a 2 meters at 11 and 2 meters at 9 intersection. And we've just followed up on that. Now, they were actually in the wrong spot. The real discovery is at Lightning, which is about 50 meters away. It's a blind discovery from our IP. But we were chasing it, and it just took a long time because you do a program, you get the results, you rethink it, you go back out again. So none of this stuff's overnight, but persistence seems to be paying off.
And you're pretty happy with that. Listen, we don't have a lot of time left. Justin, just quickly, you've got a couple of other projects. Any work being done on those, or are you too excited about Lightning to focus on anything else?
We've got a lot on because we're an explorer, but I think we've got a real project now. Our gallium at Larrins Lane, which is also a Smokebush, med studies will be finished the next couple of months. They're funded by WA Government and Curtin University, so that's exciting. We've just done a machine learning and a big soils program up at Kilindi in the Pilbara, which is out of Port Hedland. They are not far away, so there'll be some news there. And we're trying to get our Queensland project up and running, and you'll hear more there. We've also got a rare earth project down at Lort River near Esperance in Western Australia. We're planning on doing a bit of work down there. But look, these are things we're doing on the side. There'll be news flow from them. But, I think 2026 for Terrain is gold, 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 and a bit of silver. And, that's where the company's going. Hopefully the market wakes up to what we have, so we're close to 100 holes now. How many more holes with good results do we need to put out before people wake up?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first on Proactive Investors. That's the Terrain Minerals story. Lots of excitement coming from Justin there. As I said at the start, the ASX code is TMX. Go look them up. And also, if you're going over to the RIU conference in Fremantle, Justin will be there. Go and chat to him at his booth. I think the date, it's mid-February. That's the RIU Explorers Conference in Fremantle. Yeah. Good to see you, Justin. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.